Welcome to 843 TV. I'm your host, Lisa Richardson.
And I'm Will Wareham with WHHI-TV. We're coming to you today from Lowcountry Montessori School in Beaufort. And our first guests are Amy Horn, the director of the school, Sarah Fox, who's a parent and an office administrator, and Cabell Hayward, who's a teacher and parent at Lowcountry Montessori School.
And joining us also today are two students here at the school, Reese Myers and Bailey Johnson.
So stick around for more 843 TV,
where communities come to speak.
.843 TV, where Bluffton comes to speak.
Where Spring Island comes to speak.
Where Hilton Head Island comes to speak.
Where Beaufort comes to speak.
.843 TV,
where communities come to speak. Welcome to 843 TV. We're coming to you today from Lowcountry Montessori School, and we're joined by Amy Horn, Sarah Fox, and Cabell Hayward. Thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you.
Okay, so for those who are maybe not as familiar with you all with the Montessori concept, could you give us a little bit of an idea of what the vision is for Lowcountry Montessori School and what makes it unique?
I think the vision is to educate students in the Montessori method. And for some people that are knowledgeable about the Montessori method, they understand what we're doing here. I think for those looking in from the outside, it may look a little different than your traditional setting. With that vision, we're trying to offer Montessori education to students who wouldn't necessarily have the opportunity. Mm-hmm. So it's I think a fabulous thing because we have currently about 350 students, and many of those students wouldn't necessarily have that opportunity otherwise.
Right.
So.
Do you have any students that maybe were preschooled or had some schooling that were more traditional and then come into Montessori? Is that transition difficult for them?
I do think it takes time. I'm not going to say it happens overnight,
right.
But what we find is that if you've got a classroom with a lot of children that are already acclimated to the method, it's much easier. They come in and they kind of watch and they have models of students to show them how to behave and how we do things around here, so that transition makes it easier.
Sure.
And Amy, could you just let the viewers know who may not be familiar with the Montessori method, what does that actually look like in the classroom?
I think that a lot of people know what it looks like at the lower levels. You have that multi-age classroom, you have freedom of choice within that classroom, so the students are able to choose their activities or their work that they do at any given time. There's also a 3-hour work cycle that goes along in that multi-aged grouping. So it's really phenomenal to watch. If somebody is out there and was interested in coming in and looking at what we do, we're always open to people observing. And to see it is to really buy into it.
Sure.
It becomes a little different at the older ages. The philosophy is still there, and the multi-aged classroom is still there. For example, our middle school 7th and 8th graders, our high school are grouped into 2 cohorts. 9th and 10th graders are together, and then next year we'll add 11th grade. Mm-hmm. And so eventually that 11th and 12th grade will be the upper cohort in the high school.
Okay.
So.
And Cabell, you're a teacher here, right?
I am.
And have you been teaching in the Montessori kind of program for a while?
Not at all. This is my first year.
Okay.
And I'm actually not Montessori certified.
Okay.
But I discovered this school in the process of trying to find an appropriate school for my son. Mm-hmm. And I was absolutely compelled to become a part of it.
Great.
And I'm happy to be here. I'd like to add to what was already said about what happens in the classroom. It is a big contrast from a standard classroom in that, when it's working, you can see students completely occupied with what they are interested in. Mm-hmm. It's an interest-driven curriculum. That is to say that we are not trying to determine who these kids become. We're trying to see who they are already going to be of their own accord. We are here to support that development as they figure out who they are.
Right.
Not trying to carve them into some shape that fits in some certain job somewhere.
Right.
That's the big contrast. That's why I'm so completely compelled to be here working.
Absolutely, and very interesting. As you know, as our economy evolves and as our culture evolves, you know, those predetermined shapes don't necessarily fit anymore.
They don't.
And Sarah, you're a parent here as well.
I'm a parent
you
and the office manager.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so do you find your children following their passion and following their interests here at the Lowcountry Montessori School?
I do see that. You know, mine are younger than Cabell, so they have the freedom to discover that and are supported. And I've said before on this program that like the peace culture that we offer here, I think really helps them to be able to feel that support from other people, to be themselves, to be their individual selves, and to figure out what it is that they are interested in and to go for that.
Cabell, back to you. You are a practical life teacher. Can you tell us a little bit about what that means for you and what you do in the classroom?
Well, practical life is part of the Montessori curriculum, going all the way back. And it has to do with learning to do those things which are necessary to get along in life. But that is tied in with learning through manipulation. A big part of the Montessori curriculum is tactile. You know, Montessori herself said that something to the effect of the brain is handmade, which means our primary learning is through the hands. We can see and we can hear and we can learn that way, but we don't know things to the degree that we know them if we manipulate them and alter them and explore them. So that is a very compelling idea to me because that's a big part of my life. So my goal is to try to extend the already existing practical life component into the upper grades. So part of that is the big idea, you know, is soon we'll have a maker's space. We'll have a building, you know, some kind of shelter that will house machine tools, house materials, allow projects to be stored, so we can go in there and work and do this very thing, explore materials, learn how to manipulate them, translate ideas into actual things.
Practical life skills. That's
exactly.
All right, we're going to take a short break, so stay right with us and we'll be back with more 843 TV.